Hello, welcome again. We're going to give a brief update on the investigation. Again, my thoughts and prayers are with the citizens of my county, especially the Rhoden family. The investigative teams are still actively working all the crime scenes that we have in this county. I can report that we have not found or have identified any other scenes since we last updated you, or any other victims. I would like to thank the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, Ross County Sheriff's Office, State Highway Patrol, and all the other sheriffs that have come together to help support this county, to provide additional units to cover the shifts and make sure that we have ample patrol tonight and further assistance if they're needed. The Attorney General and I have spoke with the Rhoden family, members of that family and their friends. I can report that death notifications are now being made. We will continue to be available throughout the night to assist the Attorney General's office and have staffing available for any tips still yet at the Sheriff's Office. I appreciate the public response. All the tips that have came into the Sheriff's Office, all the people have come forward and given any information at all. It's been appreciated. All tips have been checked out that we have and that we currently are receiving. In this tragic event, I appreciate everyone that's been involved. My heart goes out to my county, and my thoughts and prayers go out to everyone. The Attorney General's office and their investigators have interviewed over 30 persons at this point. They're continuing to check out leads, tips, and other interviews are being conducted. At this time, I'll turn it over to the Attorney General, Mike DeWine.
Thanks, Sheriff. Thank you very much. As the Sheriff indicated, we talked to a number of the Rhoden family and their friends. Actually, they were gathered at a local church. About 100 people that we met with, and we expressed directly to them our deepest sympathy for the family. And as you can imagine, this is a very, very difficult time for this family. The work at the crime scene will continue through the night. We do not anticipate that the crime scene will be finished until maybe mid-morning tomorrow, maybe even longer. The sheriff and I personally went to the different locations and received a briefing from the BCI agents who are in the process of processing the crime scene. We again would encourage people to call the sheriff's office. Every call that has been made, we have run down, or in the process of running it down. They can call the sheriff's office, or they can call 1-855-BCI Ohio, and either one will work fine. And we just would encourage people, even if they aren't sure that that it matters really what they've heard, but if they picked up something on the street, someone told them something, we would like to hear that from them. As the sheriff indicated, at least 30 people have been interviewed. We anticipate that a number of other people will be interviewed, and that is an ongoing process, and will obviously continue until the case is solved. We do not know whether we're talking about one individual or two or three or more. We simply do not know that at this point. The specific threat, I think, is not to the community. We have no indication that there is a threat to the community that's specific. There was, of course, a family that was targeted. The Rhoden family was targeted, and so we have talked with the members of the Rhoden family and expressed our concern about their safety and asked them to be extremely cautious, and the sheriff has also made it very clear to them that the sheriff's office will work with them in regard to protection. More than happy to answer any questions.
Do you know anything about a possible person of interest that was arrested in Chicago?
I would not use the term person of interest. I will confirm that a number of people are being interviewed, and there are several of those who are in Chillicothe. No. Anybody else? We would not anticipate, we will give you an update if we have a significant change overnight. We would not anticipate really getting back to you probably until around noon tomorrow, unless there is some significant change. Whether or not that will be a live with the sheriff and I standing here, or whether or not that'll just be an issued a statement, I think will depend, frankly, on what occurs between now and noon tomorrow. So we would look at around noon. My office will inform your stations in the morning exactly what time that you can expect that.
Final question for Sheriff Reeder. You spoke earlier today about the precautions people around here should take. I know Mike was just talking about the family being targeted, but still there are anxious people in your county. What advice do you have for them tonight?
Well, of course, any situation like this is as tragic and devastating as it is, it's going to alarm all the citizens of this county. Again, we have a specific family that has been targeted. I don't believe there's any other threat to any members of the community. However, there is a threat there, and I believe that threat to be armed and dangerous. I have spoke with the family. I've given them precautionary measures to take. I've got additional units in the area. We're available with them at any time they may need us. But take any precautionary measures that you may. We're available. Again, Sheriff Frazier, Sheriff Lavender, State Patrol Post will provide me additional manpower. I've had men that's been out since 11 o'clock last night that's still working. We're going to send them home, give them a break. So we have other units coming in, so we have ample staffing and that we can be available for everyone. But the specific threat, again, I believe, without a doubt, is the Rhoden family.
Sheriff, can you talk about your discussion with the family? Obviously distraught.
Well, absolutely. I mean, this is a devastating time for a family to learn that they've lost so many members. It's with respect that we spoke with them. We briefed them on everything that we briefed you on in our first press conference. They are aware of everything that we reported. We're making ourselves available to them. And any additional information that we will learn, I advise them that I would personally see that they are informed.
Are they offering any kind of information that perhaps maybe you could have done this or anything of that nature?
I'm sure there's family and friends that investigators have spoke with. Any information, I urge them, any information in regards to how small, to report it. We've got units out there that's speaking with them, agents out there speaking with them, taking statements, and they're being looked through to see if there's information that we need to continue or go find someone else to interview.
You guys, I'm sure, trained for this, obviously, but when something like this happens,
I've been in.
It's some company, something.
Yeah, let me just say I'm so very, very impressed with the sheriff and his department. Fortunately, most sheriffs never face what the sheriff faced today, and his men and his women. These are true professionals. They have done a fantastic job. As the sheriff said, they've been on duty for a long, long time. So I'm sure the sheriff, there's a lot of training involved, but I've been very, very impressed. We have been very happy to come in and to be of assistance with our BCI agents. Once an agent goes to the crime scene, we generally like to keep them on the same crime scene until it's done. So that's a long, long, long time, and they're going to be working through the night. So we have a lot of people. What I would just say to the community, we have a lot of people who are very dedicated and committed to finding these murderers or this murderer, and who is, have done this absolutely horrible, horrible thing. It's.
Mike, can you talk about your discussion with the governor?
I talked with the governor. The governor was very concerned about what had happened. He wanted to get a briefing from me, which I gave him. I think, frankly, he was expressed the same thing that I did this morning when I got the call, and we just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it this morning when we heard that there were seven people killed, and when the governor and I talked, he was still, I think, pretty much in shock about it. You know, it's not something you expect to find any place in the state of Ohio. And it's not something certainly you would expect to find in Pike County. I don't know that. I don't know that. I called his cell phone. I have his cell number, and I talked with him. He told me where he was, but I can't remember, to tell you the truth. And that was a number of hours ago. That was before we talked to you all before.
Can you talk at all about the DeWine spread or the size of the search for whoever the individuals are beyond, obviously, this county and all of Ohio have crossed state lines?
Well, let me just say, you know, we have a lot of people on this, and you take every lead and you try to follow those leads, and then you start trying to put things together. So it's focused. It will go wherever the facts tell us, and you know, there's different theories that we're looking at, or different possibilities based upon some of the facts that we know. But I think, you know, I really can't say much beyond that. But the investigation will go wherever it has to go.
I'd like to jump in really quickly. One more point about what we talked about earlier, the possibility that the perpetrator is among those killed. Has that been ruled out completely?
I think it looks very unlikely. Yeah, very, very unlikely. We talked to the agents who were there. We were late getting into the one house to get a search warrant, so I don't have a direct report on that. But there's no indication at all that any of these individuals killed themselves. I mean, this is just not what has happened. We have a murderer or murderers who have done this.
Can you say at all if any of these houses have forced entry?
Can't say about that yet.
In terms of the tips, can you talk about the number of tips that you've received and number of calls?
I don't know the number, Sheriff. Do you?
No, I haven't been reported a number. I know that it's been overwhelming. The public being involved, as they always are in Pike County, they're the first to come forward. I've asked everyone to help, and since I've been sheriff, they're really compassionate about what we're doing. They're really available to us and provide us any information that we need. It's been an overwhelming amount of tips, people coming to the office, people speaking with agents, anything that they may have that could be valuable they've shared. So, but the actual number, I'm not aware of that. Sir, I have a staff of 13 road deputies, and I have a staff of 13 road deputies. I've got administrative staff. I've got a total of probably 30 that have been called out. We called the entire staff out. The major did this morning when he got to the scene. When I got the call, every one of us has been out, and will continue to stay out. When I see that my officers need a break, I will give those breaks, send them home to their families. Again, I've got other agencies that step forward and coming to help out. We'll utilize that help that we have, and then my guys can refresh themselves and come back to work and continue to do what we're doing.
Is there anything that's pointing towards a motive?
I can't say at this time.
Earlier today, the FBI tweeted that they're monitoring this case. Are they involved at all?
The FBI has reached out. They are available if needed. At this time, they are not directly involved, but they are on standby if we see that we need additional help from them. So it's greatly appreciated, but they are not directly involved at this time.
Sure. What was a shooting like this a couple years ago in this area?
We've never had a shooting with 8 victims, ever. I've never have known. I've been here my entire life. I've served locally for 20 years in law enforcement, and never have I ever imagined such devastation to a family, to a county, to myself or staff. Never have we lost so many people to a murderer or murderers in this county. Never 8 people at one time.
Can you speak to the importance of trying to make some headway as quickly as possible? You understand the longer it goes, the more likely it might be that this person escapes and whoever would like to take that. So the timing of trying to
Well, the thing is, we've got good people in place. We've got investigative teams in place. They're at the crime scenes. They're actively working them. They're being very methodical so they don't miss anything. Evidence is being collected. Everything's been followed. You know, we have a staff set up in the room over here that's taking tips, it's looking at things, it's providing information to, you know, we're collectively working together, and it's been a huge success so far. I'm very proud of the people that are here. I'm very impressed with all the agents and all the professionals here. You know, we know the urgency, and they're familiar with that, but they're taking the time that they need to do it right, so that if we have information leading to these people or person that committed this heinous crime, that we can go seek them, find them, and so that then justice can be served and they can be prosecuted.
Let me just add one more thing, Sheriff. Investigations like this can take a while, and we're going to do it right. As the sheriff said, we're methodical about it. We don't know how long this is going to take, so we're going to be here. BCI is going to stay here, and we'll continue to work on this with the sheriff's office until we know who did it.
Is there a message to the people that did this?
We're coming.
Sorry.
We're coming. When this investigation is complete, it's going to point us in the direction that we need to go, and we'll find who did this.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.